next on the Pro Wrestling Report Primetime, the greatest ever returns with a look at the greatest wrestling theme song of all time. A new TNA champion was crowned this week, and a new #1 contender for the WWE World Championship was also determined. All this and a look back at the week in professional wrestling right here, right now on My 24 Milwaukee.
This is the Pro Wrestling Report Primetime TV, the longest-running pro wrestling news program in the world, with your hosts David Hero and Damian Nelson.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Pro Wrestling Report Primetime Saturday night. Damian Nelson sitting alongside David Octavius and Tiberius, the alleged backyard one-time knockout, straight-edge, hardcore, goat-faced Hall of Famer Hero. Here on Saturday, November 1st, 2014. We are 2 months left of this great year.
Oh my good God almighty, it's November already.
You know, it's the beginning of a celebration.
Yes, it is.
My birthday month celebration. I expect gifts each and every week. Do you have a gift for me today? I heard you do.
I have a gift for you every day.
Well, let's get right down to it, folks, with this week's WWE Report. An active week, especially coming off the heels of the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view last Sunday on the WWE Network and on pay-per-view. Coming out of that, we saw John Cena become the #1 contender for Brock Lesnar's WWE World Heavyweight Championship in a near 30-minute Hell in a Cell match with Randy Orton. We've seen Randy Orton versus John Cena time and time and time and time and time.
We can't do that many times.
And time again. However, this match was better than I expected.
Well, they had to produce because the winner of that match was going on to face Brock Lesnar.
Brock Lesnar.
But they haven't said when.
I don't need to, do they?
You got to figure it's going to be the Rumble, right? In Philadelphia.
Well, Cena's busy.
Cena is busy, yes. But great match.
Maybe
both guys.
TLC. And DC Embre?
I don't think so. I don't think so. But great match with both guys. Both guys, veterans. Both guys have been in Hell in a Cells. They know how to work a Hell in a Cell match. And I think that their match, of course, their match wasn't as crazy as the main event, but it was very solid.
John Cena winning that matchup, not quite as you thought it would happen in last week's Be the Booker.
No. You know what? And Be the Booker was an abomination. Okay?
Snowman?
No, don't bring Al into this. He had nothing to do with it.
I was talking about Smokey and the Bandit.
No, Abomination. That was the guy who fought the Hulk and lost. You'll get there.
It is currently an abomination.
It is an abomination.
He was here.
Yeah, how about
Tuesday
that?
night.
Did you see him?
I did see the motorcade, yes. I
Yeah.
did not have sushi with him, though. Our good friend David Gruber did.
Yes, he did. Big plate dinner, too. I'm telling you. But where are we again?
Well, you're completely lost, so we'll move on to...
No, Be the Booker was terrible, but it's because it's how I would have booked it. But it's, you know.
You're a terrible booker.
No, I'm a great booker.
You just said you're terrible.
It was terrible because they didn't agree with me.
Talking about Hell in a Cell on Sunday, you can't lose sight of the fact that in that big main event matchup between Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins...
Whoa, say that again.
That big main event matchup between Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins, the top of the card, the headlining main event.
Yes.
On that pay-per-view.
It was
interfered in by Bray Wyatt, who returned and cost Dean Ambrose the match and the win.
How do the Wyatts always get into Hell in a Cells and Elimination Chambers?
It was like a hologram, wasn't it?
It's amazing how he has nothing on Houdini, or Houdini has nothing on him.
What does he have on David Koresh?
A better beard.
Bray Wyatt, absent from live events or live programming, if you will, over the last several weeks, makes his return, now seemingly on his way into a program or situation, if you will, with Dean Ambrose.
You know what's funny is no one really complained about it. People weren't that upset that Bray Wyatt got involved in the match, and it was actually brilliant. It was a great way to re-jumpstart Bray Wyatt.
Really?
Bray Wyatt was getting beat by Chris Jericho.
Well, you say that like it's a bad thing.
It is a bad thing.
Really? He beat Chris Jericho, too.
But I'm just saying Chris Jericho was getting the better of Bray Wyatt, a guy that is a consistent performer. You know what I mean?
But a rookie versus a veteran, when you really boil it down.
But listen, Batista put over Daniel Bryan, middle of the ring, tapped.
He did.
Okay. Rock put over John Cena, middle of the ring.
I don't know if either of those are a rookie.
But I'm just saying that Bray Wyatt is an up-and-comer. At the point he was in a program with Chris Jericho, he was a top 4 guy in the company.
Seth Rollins Money in the Bank briefcase.
Yes.
That situation goes forward. This past Monday on Raw, we heard from Roman Reigns, who says he is coming back, obviously.
Oh, of
and
course.
when he does come back, his sights are set firmly on Seth Rollins.
You know,
Survivor Series is taken care of. We'll talk about that in a minute as far as a distraction from
Let's talk
stories.
about Seth Rollins. They are doing an amazing job of him cheating to win.
Aren't they, though?
So
But not really.
No, they are, because he doesn't win on his own.
He's in convenient situations.
He doesn't win on his own, and the fans are going to go, as Pat Patterson would say, banana, when the babyface finally gets a hold of him and beats him and takes that briefcase. It's a nice, slow build, and there's going to be a good payoff.
Got to give some shout-outs to a couple of performers on Hell in a Cell this past Sunday. As a matter of fact, it was the opening matchup. Best 2 out of 3 falls. Dolph Ziggler versus Cesaro. I, David Hero, feel that was one of the best 2 out of 3 falls matchups I have seen in my entire being. And the fact that Ziggler won it on the second fall made it less cliched and more believable in that great matchup.
It did, and I was shocked. I really thought Cesaro was going to win, to establish himself as a top guy. But
what we saw going into Monday with Ziggler, that win made that much more sense.
Like I've said before, it's always right in front of us. There's always a reason why they do it, and the way Monday Night Raw kicked off with Ziggler shows why.
This past Monday Night Raw also showed us Mark Henry turning his alliance on the Big Show went south with the Big Show.
What? Is he bipolar?
Well, he is sexual chocolate and a silverback.
It's like, come on, flip-flop. I mean, he's like a Waffle House.
How so?
He's always waffling back and forth. He can't decide if he wants to be a good guy or a bad guy.
Which is he better as, though?
Oh, he's better as the bad guy, but the fans still love him.
That's what he does.
Well, so is Big Show.
Yeah.
And let's be honest, nobody wants to see Big Show and Mark Henry again.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Right?
Yeah.
Body Slam Challenge? Bundy versus Stud? Andre versus Stud?
Well, this past Monday on Raw, we talked about the Ziggler build, if you will. Ziggler aligning himself with John Cena after it was announced, after Stephanie McMahon attempted to get John Cena to join the Authority. I almost said the Alliance.
How crazy is that? Why would Cena do that?
Well, Stephanie had...
If he doesn't want to get married, he's not going to want to join the Authority.
He did say no to that. He did then find out via Triple H that it would be Team Cena versus Team Authority at the Survivor Series, and it looks like Dolph Ziggler is one of few that will be on Team Cena.
And this is how Cena is going to elevate other guys.
Mm-hmm. And it's really the joy of a traditional Survivor Series matchup, because that's what you can do.
Other guys are going to get the rub off of John Cena, saying, wow, John Cena chose him. He must be something. He must be great.
Speaking of the rub, I'm not sure I've seen Randy Orton perform better on the microphone than I did this past Monday night.
It seems like they're giving him more leeway. Not quite as scripted.
He was intense. It was believable.
Mm-hmm.
He snuck in the RKO on Seth Rollins.
Oh, he did.
Which was great. And Triple H's reaction, by the way, to that was equally great, as he just stood there fuming.
But they had to, because of all the vines we've seen of Randy Orton. Capitalize on that.
Absolutely. So Vine is a social media video service,
is that what?
Correct?
Oh, that's what it is.
Well, it's just for those who don't know. A lot of people don't have
How
the
do they not
interwebs
know?
out there. Well, not everybody is as social as you.
It's not my fault.
WWE had much more going on this week, including announcing their business results for the third quarter with some interesting statistics. We'll get into that in just a moment after we go to Linda Kay to tell you more about the big announcement made last week for Blizzard Brawl 10.
Blizzard Brawl 10 is less than 2 months away, and while we have already announced some tremendous talents for the show, we are pleased to announce the man who will be receiving the PWR Lifetime Achievement Award, along with an induction into the PWR Hall of Fame. Please join me in welcoming Ricky the Dragon Steamboat to Blizzard Brawl. Steamboat will be appearing live at the December 6th event and will join Demolition, Ron Simmons, King Kong Bundy, Kevin Nash, and Bobby Heenan in the PWR Hall of Fame. Get more details and tickets right now at blizzardbrawl.com.
Thank you, Linda. Huge news. Ricky the Dragon Steamboat.
How about
Blizzard
that?
Brawl 10 just less than 2 months away.
It's a little bit over a month away.
What kind of math are you using? Actually, it is a little bit.
That's the math I'm
This is
using. It's the
November
right
now. It's
math.
November 1st.
You know, if you want, we can have Cal come in here and show you how to do math again. You know, how they, carry the 4 plus the 2, that whole kind of stuff.
Continuing with this week's WWE report.
Okay, go ahead.
Damian Mizdow.
How about them?
Back to Hell in a Cell.
Yeah.
Sheamus's shenanigans after the matchup with Miz and Mizdow. Is Mizdow Sandow surpassing The Miz?
He
in
has.
popularity?
Way past the Miz.
Is he a distraction?
I think everything's a distraction for the Miz.
A distraction for the audience watching a match in
Oh, absolutely. Because you want to keep the focus on what's happening in the ring, not on what's going on around the ring. Especially when he's laying on the ground, you can't see him. So then you got to look.
That's almost better though.
So, then you have to look at the Titantron.
Would you have cared more or less about the Miz-Sheamus matchup if Mizdow were not
Damian
involved?
Mizdow makes that far easier to watch.
Well, because you hate the Miz.
I do hate the Miz.
Wow, he said it.
Oh, come on. Who
Can
likes
you
the
admit that you hate
Miz?
Phil Brooks? You probably don't hate Phil Brooks. You hate CM Punk.
No, it's the same guy. I mean, come on.
You know, I don't know if you read on the internet, he re-signed with WWE.
Oh yeah, I'm sure he did.
That's what a lot of sites headlines
I'm
said.
sure. He did not.
He won't. But WWE did announce some business
You know, it's not
results.
fair to say that I hate somebody. I might
You just
dislike
did.
them. No, because you spun my words around.
You said, I do hate the Miz. How do I
That's not what I
spin that
meant.
into
That's
what
not
you
what I
didn't
meant.
say? What did you mean then? Please clarify, Mr. Rodney.
I just dislike him because of your love for him. That's what it is.
You're jealous?
It's obnoxious. It is ridiculous. It is silly how much another man can love another man.
I don't love. I endorse, and I endorsed The Miz, and then led him to his first WWE Championship win,
sure you
cashing
did.
in Money in the Bank,
Yeah.
and also headlining WrestleMania 27, which
Okay.
you just still can't get over. So moving on, WWE announced that they have 731,000 subscribers now to the network, and made some changes to the WWE network just 2 days ago. Firstly, you no longer have to make a 6-month commitment to sign up for the network. And if you haven't signed up for the network yet, it is free for the month of November. You get your first month free, including the Survivor Series. Now, interesting to note that over $22 million in revenue came from the network, compared to $15.5 million in pay-per-view revenue for the same quarter last year. And WWE still made $3.6 million on pay-per-view for the quarter, mostly attributed to SummerSlam, which had about 174,000 pay-per-view buys. So I guess the question is, with those numbers, is the WWE network a success at this point or not?
No, it's not.
They made more money than they did last year on pay-per-view.
But it's not a success because of all the startup costs for the network.
Exactly.
That's the part.
Huge costs.
Ridiculous. And they've only gained less than 200,000 since the last quarter.
Correct.
Subscribers.
And they lost quite a few.
So the real problem with the network
Is what?
is this. Let's just say I subscribe.
Mm-hmm.
I can give my login information to 100 different people if I wanted to.
Correct.
So,
Which is thievery.
but it's lost revenue.
Absolutely.
And that's the problem.
And I unfortunately know of people who have told me that they share the WWE network, and I personally want to punch them in the face. Because what you're doing is taking bread off of the people's table who you're sharing that login information to watch. Do you not see that? It's $10 a month, people.
Yeah, you spend more than that on Jameson.
One glass.
Yeah.
Well, because I do the 18 year.
Well, thank God. You know, under 18 is a minor.
We'll talk more about some more interesting things in the WWE business results next week. But still to come here on the Pro Wrestling Report, we've got this week's TNA Impact Wrestling Report, Dive into the Ring, PWHS, and the return of the greatest ever as we determine the greatest wrestling theme song in the history of all time. That coming up still next here on the Pro Wrestling Report Primetime Saturday night.
Who do you trust when buying your jewelry? Brad Yulberg here, and I can tell you at Robert Hack Diamonds, we will treat you fair and like family. We have thousands of diamonds in stock, thousands of pieces of jewelry, and prices from under $50 to over $50,000. Come to Robert Hack Diamonds for a relaxed and enjoyable jewelry buying experience. Shop around before you buy. Robert Hack Diamonds is located at 76th and Layton and Greenfield, and our new location on the corner of Green Tree and Port Washington Road in Glendale.
Come to Robert Hack Diamonds.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Pro Wrestling Report Prime Time for Saturday, November 1st, 2014. Damian Nelson sitting alongside David Hero, and it's time to go to this week's TNA Impact Wrestling Report and an active episode this past Wednesday night on Spike TV, where brand new TNA World Heavyweight Champion was crowned. Defeating Bobby Lashley cleanly was Bobby Roode.
Amazing. Bobby Lashley built up as a big monster for the last couple months. Of course, he wasn't over in Japan for the pay-per-view Bound for Glory, but Bobby
He wasn't
Roode,
there or he wasn't over?
he wasn't there.
Okay.
And he wasn't over there, so he couldn't be there.
Over.
But Bobby Roode, I mean, shocking. Because you'd think they would have saved that match, that win, for something a little bit bigger than just for the television audience.
Well, at this point, they have nothing scheduled bigger.
I understand. I get it. But Bobby Roode and Bobby Lashley had a fantastic match.
It was a good match.
I mean,
it was a roll-up kind of thing.
And to have Kurt Angle involved and not involved and other referees and a lot of shenanigans, but to eventually get the clean pinfall victory. Great match for Bobby Roode. Fortunately for Bobby Roode, where does he go as the TNA World Impact Heavyweight Wrestling Champion?
Is he a better champion than Bobby Lashley at this point? We talked about the believability and the fact that Bobby Lashley looked like a champion. Not saying Roode does or doesn't, but is he a better choice for champion at this time?
I think they're both on equal footing that way. Bobby Lashley is far more impressive looking.
Yes.
But Bobby Roode has the look of a champion as well, just not on the same level as Lashley.
Fair enough. How about the Shark Boy business?
How about Shark Boy? Shell yeah.
He was Virgiling autographs on Impact this past Wednesday night.
He wasn't Virgiling.
Oh,
Come
he did have people
on.
at his table. So.
He did it. Yeah, people were there. People love Shark Boy.
I think Shark Boy is a great character, very interesting character. I don't know where this is going, but I am at least intrigued by it.
Well, keep in mind, they had to get talent in for TV. Mm-hmm. And he was there.
Kurt Angle has reportedly, we don't have confirmation of this, so it is nothing but a rumor at this point, signed a new part-time deal with TNA Impact Wrestling. Now, Kurt, to our ears via his mouth, said he was returning to WWE in September.
He was adamant about it, and that did not happen. Which is amazing because, he's from Pittsburgh. He would have been a great addition to the Philadelphia Royal Rumble. But, you can't always get what you want.
Can't, and let's not forget, he left WWE on some pretty unfavorable terms. And
terrible terms.
That typically doesn't matter in the wrestling business, but in this case, it might.
And they could have done some magic with Rusev and Angle.
Absolutely. That's a WrestleMania caliber match. Build to that.
Could be.
He keeps going through all these Americans, and then the Olympic gold medalist, real American,
right.
Kurt Angle.
But then Rusev would have to beat him.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And then where do you go from there?
So, they don't have a TV deal yet.
No.
At least signed,
But I can't believe any of that until John Gaborik tweets it out. Because that's when it's really official. Right? I'm not being a wise guy.
No, you're not, but it's a sad state of affairs.
I'm being honest.
Yeah.
Big always tweets out when they re-sign guys.
But Dixie's got a big announcement coming up.
She's had one for the last 3 weeks.
No, she's had one for the last 12 years, every week.
Bless her heart. Did you just say that?
She's had one for the last 12 years.
Okay. All right. Don't get hot. Damn.
That is this week's TNA Impact Wrestling Report, ladies and gentlemen. Now let's find out who was the shining star, if you will, this week. This week's Robert Hack, Diamond of the Ring.
This week's Robert Hack, Diamond of the Ring, is the brand spanking new TNA World Impact Wrestling Heavyweight Champion of the World, Bobby Roode, defeating Bobby Lashley to once again become a multi-time champion. Where do you go? Where do you trust to buy your diamonds? I go to Robert Hack Diamonds, and he is the Diamond of the Ring, Bobby Roode. How about that?
Why on your notes does it say Stardust and Goldust are the Diamonds of the Ring this week?
No, that was because I was very impressed with what they did, taking care of the Usos. But there's a new World Impact Wrestling Heavyweight Champion.
On Spike TV.
And that may not happen again for a while. And I like Bobby Roode. I like Goldust.
Program.
He has been.
This week's Diamond of the Ring, folks. We're going to take a brief time out, tell you a little bit more about the huge PWR party coming to San Jose as part of WrestleMania weekend.
That's right.
WWE is starting to get into WrestleMania mode. They are creating main event stars. Dolph Ziggler defeated Cesaro in a 2 straight falls at Hell in a Cell, a talent that many feel will be a top guy. Rusev has dominated everybody that has stood in his way, and Sheamus, an established upper card talent, is next. Dean Ambrose can now help reestablish Bray Wyatt as a main event talent with their upcoming program. Ryback has returned and looks to be the unstoppable machine he was 2 years ago. And finally, Randy Orton will break out from behind the Authority and once again be a top good guy in the company. All these things are happening at the right time. Survivor Series, Team Cena versus the Authority. And next week we will have a special edition of Primetime looking at how the WWE needs to continue this trend and hit the reset button on this product. And with that, David Hero has spoken.
If you've been hurt in a car wreck, the insurance company may try to stop you from getting what's fair.
After my car wreck, the insurance company just wasn't helping me, so I said stop, and I called Gruber Law Offices.
Be careful. Call us right away.
They better be careful. Now I've got Gruber Law Offices.
Call us. Let us get started on your case right now.
They put the green light on my case and got me $65,000.
Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all. Call 276-6666.
Welcome to the PWR Event Center, brought to you by Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all. Shenanigans are coming to St. Louis for the Survivor Series on November 23rd. This is a free admission event and will be held at the world-famous Hard Rock Cafe right next door to the Scottrade Center, which will host Survivor Series that evening. Due to another commitment, Kevin Nash will no longer be able to appear at the event, and for that, we apologize. However, Nash has been replaced by WWE Hall of Famer Mean Gene Okerlund.
Holy balls!
Gene will be joining Thea Rosita Trinidad for a meet and greet in St. Louis, and you can RSVP for your free tickets right now at pwrshow.com.
Thank you, Linda Kay. Huge events coming from the Pro Wrestling Report, and congratulations, David Hero, this past weekend. Fantasticon and GLCW Oktoberfest with Mean Gene Okerlund, Rosita, Thea Trinidad, and Al Snow.
It was a fantastic weekend.
And I hear on Monday night you were down in Chicago.
I was, Squared Circle.
Which is Lisa Marie Veron's restaurant. You had a Paul Heyman burger?
I did. It was tremendous.
What was on it?
It was a Reuben on a burger.
A Reuben on a burger.
It was freaking awesome. I highly recommend it. And next weekend, I'll be in New York for the big event.
What's the big event?
Huge autograph signing. Sting's going to be there, Mick Foley, Uncle Al.
Do you have a table?
Of course I have a table. Why wouldn't I have a table?
We were talking about that earlier. Shark Boy, Virgil, you.
No. My autographs are reasonably priced.
Yeah, free.
They are free.
Folks, over the summer, we started a special series here on the Pro Wrestling Report where we take a look at the greatest ever in several categories. While it's been absent for a while, we are pleased to introduce this as a new segment here on Primetime so we can finish it out and build up to Mount Rushmore of professional wrestling.
We agreed.
You know, Cody Rhodes, The Miz, Bully Ray. What?
Okay.
They're on Mount Rushmore.
I'm sure they are. On your Mount Rushmore.
Well, this week's category, though, folks, is the greatest wrestling theme song ever. And theme songs are the music that define a character and are one of the key things that connect them with the audience. These themes are created to introduce the talent to the audience and to extend their persona musically. What would be your theme song, David Hero, if you had a wrestling theme song?
If I had a wrestling theme song, let me think about it.
Right.
Yeah. What would yours be? Please, I can't wait to hear this one.
New York, Frank Sinatra, absolutely.
Oh, really?
There's a couple good remix versions.
Mine would have been, Oh Lord, It's Hard to Be Humble.
There have been some great theme songs and some not so great theme songs over the years, but there is a long list of themes who qualify, including greats such as The Brood, The Oddities, Dusty Rhodes, The American Dream, The Rockers, John Cena even.
You need to be specific.
I did.
About Dusty Rhodes.
Dream.
WWF version.
Was he the American Dream in?
Yes, he's been the American Dream everywhere he's gone.
People don't associate that until it was marketed properly in WWE. And yes, I'm scratching my head because you've achieved irritation.
They have creams for that.
John Cena, Randy Orton, Kurt Angle, Brock Lesnar, Ric Flair, Randy Savage, Shawn Michaels, and even more.
There's more.
But wait.
There is more.
Call now.
NWO.
Why don't you just wait a minute, okay? Because even with this impressive list, David Hero, it really boils down to the few that are at the top of the heap.
Well,
here are the finalists.
oh,
folks.
you're reading off of that thing.
Here
I
are
have
the
no
finalists,
idea.
folks. The Honky Tonk Man, the Fabulous Freebirds.
What?
Bad Street USA.
Come on.
Absolutely, it was the first video in wrestling.
What's in that cup?
The NWO, Hulk Hogan, The Rock, The Undertaker, and The Ultimate Warrior. Did you write those down?
I did. I even added one more.
So let's count down to the greatest theme song ever by process of elimination, David Hero. And then once again, the list, the Freebirds, Honky Tonk Man,
Honky Tonk
NWO.
Man is the first one off the list.
How could you do such a thing? You
Because-
did not sing, I got my long sideburns, got my hair slicked back,
I'm sure
coming to
I
your
did.
town
I did.
in a pink
But it's not the
Cadillac,
greatest
just
of all
a Honky
time.
Tonk Man. It's one of the.
No, it's not. It's not even top
You
five.
sing along.
I don't know the words.
You just.
It's not top five.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
No, just go right ahead and it's fine.
No, by all means, this is your, yeah.
No, I think it is definitely a finalist.
Okay, so
and if it is not the top, I don't think, but it's the one I still sing regularly.
Okay, you sing. Freebirds, not a top five. What do you think?
I think it's top five for its
The
significance.
Freebirds?
Its significance. Bad Street
See,
USA.
but see, for me, I'm going off of.
You ever seen the video?
When the yes, I have.
Horrible.
When the music hits, what gets the crowd reaction? What brings energy to the crowd?
They were heels.
It doesn't make a difference. The NWO were heels. When their music hit, people popped.
They were heels in a very different era.
DX were the heels. When their music hit,
I'm not talking about that.
people popped.
Okay, fine.
The Rock, he was a heel. You know what we didn't include? We didn't have Austin 316 on there. I don't know who put this list together, but they completely dropped the ball and kicked it out of bounds.
Would that be your number one?
No.
So then it doesn't matter.
No.
So
but
you've eliminated.
It would be top three.
Music. Okay.
He's the top three.
Okay, super.
You want my top three?
No, I don't want your top three. I want you to continue to eliminate. You've eliminated the Freebirds. You've eliminated Honky Tonk Man. We've got NWO, Rock, Hogan, Undertaker.
Let me see
Warrior.
your list here because mine's different than yours. God, Hogan, I mean, Real American was fantastic.
Not his theme song originally. Though.
No, it was
Mike
for
Rotunda and,
Wyndham and Rotundo, yeah. Hulk's was originally from the cartoon, which stunk. Boy, all of these could be number one. The Warriors was fantastic. When his music hit, it was electricity. When Taker's gong would go off, you felt the chill in the air because the air conditioning would kick on.
I think if you look at this, though, if you look at The Rock and The Undertaker specifically, their music fundamentally has never changed, but it has been tweaked over their careers
Right.
and remained the same general tune that I think it makes it more complex of a theme because it evolved with their characters. Now, The Undertaker did have a couple of different themes for
Right.
a while.
Yes.
Keep rolling, but
I will say this, and people are going to say, oh, it's because Kevin Nash's NWO theme song might be my number one. Just because it meant an entire era. And when you heard it, you knew something was going to happen. But again, Real American was amazing too.
is that because towards the end you heard it 58 times on an episode of Nitro? 'Cause
That's
everybody
fine.
was in NWO?
And everyone loved it. Nobody complained about
Are
it.
you talking the Wolfpack version or the LWO
No, the
version?
NWO. The original. The Rock's is
Better
amazing
than The
too.
Rock.
Yes.
Better
Not-
than The Undertaker.
We're going off of music, not entrances.
You're all right.
Okay? So don't people start saying, oh, Taker had a better entrance. Yeah, of course he did. Without a shadow of a doubt he did. But take away the smoke and the lightning and everything, and it's just the music. Right? You gotta go with NWO and or even DX. Break it down. When that would hit, people popped.
The fact of the matter is there are a tremendous amount of tremendous wrestling theme songs out there, ladies and gentlemen, and I don't agree with his choice of NWO, but he is entitled to his opinion, as are all of you.
Who do you pick?
And we want to hear your opinion shared
You're
with
not
us,
gonna
folks.
pick.
Join us on Twitter at PWR
That's
Show on
what's so
Twitter,
messed up.
At PWR Show on Twitter, and share with us your thoughts on the finalists.
You would pick Cody's music.
The greatest theme song of all time. Well, it is all about smoke and mirrors.
Yeah, obviously.
So share with us your thoughts, and we'll communicate with them with you next week right here on the Pro Wrestling Report PrimeTime on my
You know,
24 Milwaukee.
you kind of just left me out there hanging by
In the
myself again.
meantime and in between time for that one, this is Damian Nelson saying thank you so much for tuning in. We'll see you again next week.